Hello and welcome to Won't Be Forgetting That, a podcast talking about all of the most awkward and embarrassing moments of people working in the arts and entertainment industry. I'm your podcast host, Seb Muirhead, and today we have a couple of guests. Our first one is a production designer and a director, Pernell Marsden.
Hello.
And our second one is a writer and a director, Gregory Kelly.
Hello.
Oh, thank you both for doing this. First off, a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, and I know I say this every week, I do need to change that saying to something else, but until anyone writes into a new saying, I'm not going to change it, but
It's very voyeuristic.
Is it? Oh.
A peek behind the curtain.
Yes. Peek behind the curtain behind you, see what's there. I haven't actually.
I'm scared, I don't want to, no.
But we're actually off to a little screening tonight of a film we all worked on together. Ghost. Very, very good little film, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. There's loads of films which I'm in, which are terrible. So
We've made plenty of those as well.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, talk about embarrassment.
Anyone's early short films, I feel like, are... I mean, I'm not speaking for everyone. A lot of my early short films I did are unwatchable.
Yeah.
We actually have a movie night where we get together with friends and we watch the most embarrassing films
Oh my God.
from our early years.
I don't know if I could handle that.
It's very cathartic, and you just rip into each other's shit, and like yelling at the screen is really encouraged.
Yeah.
And God, there was some, like, it did make me actually feel a little bit better about myself, to be honest.
I love that.
Strength in numbers.
but also horrible, because I'm definitely a part of some pretty embarrassing things.
I fucking love that, though.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a part of them as well. I mean, we all are. Anyone that's worked in arts and entertainment has done something they're embarrassed of as far as putting like a product out. But that's a fucking great idea.
Well, you should join
I am
us
feeling that.
and show us your early
I
stuff.
have so many to show you. And again, anyone that I have worked with that's listening, for the most part, I do really love the films I've worked on. But some of the early stuff, like straight out of drama school, I've done some stuff which is unforgivable, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
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 And I just, it's not on the internet from what I can find. It's just saved on a hard drive, which is under lock and key, because I really don't want anyone to see it.
Well, that's good for you, because there's some stuff out there that I really wish wasn't out there.
Ooh, do we want to name names where we can find this?
Oh, no, I don't
can't
want people
talk.
to find it.
I'm joking. I'll message me after
But
this,
it's there.
guys.
The point is, it's there. So if you go looking, you'll find it.
Oh, that's a problem with like putting things out there. It's like as soon as it's out there, you can't get rid of it again.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because we put so much stuff out there we want people to see, and that's the stuff nobody's watching. But then stuff dredged up from our deep dark past. Oh boy, you can find some crap.
But I think when you did it, like 10 years ago or whenever it was, you maybe thought it was the best thing ever.
I've had,
And then in retrospect, you're like, oh no. And now that you're much more of a professional, it's
Yeah.
not really the sort of stuff you really
And
want people to
you
be.
can't be there to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, this was 10 years ago.
I was
guys.
young.
right? There's some stuff like I think everybody when they're out, they're like, or sorry, when they're just out of like drama school or whatever. VCA for yourself, was it, Pernell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
BCA, I did another course up in Queensland earlier on. But
Oh,
yeah.
awesome! And
But yeah.
Greg, what's your background?
Yeah, so I did the one in Queensland. That's actually where we met.
Oh, that's nice.
I know.
Oh, I should have.
cliche.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
No, that's beautiful. Bloody
Film
love
school
story.
love.
Oh, there could be a lot worse things that come out of film school. I'd love, trust me. I should have started off by saying fucking congrats as well. We both just got married.
We are wed.
We are.
Wait,
We're
we
hitched.
both just got married. I mean, Pernell and Greg just got married. Sorry,
Yes.
we're not some weird throuple here.
We don't know each other that
That's
well.
so exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
But yes, enough of the lovey-dovey nice stuff. Sorry, back to the embarrassing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like when you first start out, and this has happened with a lot of previous guests as well, everyone's like, that first short film I make out of school, or that first production that I do even in school, is going to win an Oscar. That's going to be the best short film ever. Even past guest Lean Fitzgibbon, who was saying like his first year short, he was really trying. He auditioned people to be a corpse, just a dead body. They didn't do anything. But like that's the mentality you have. Like, this is going to be the best thing in the world. So I feel like there's everybody out there with some really horrendous stuff.
It's a beautiful thing when you start out because you dream so big.
Yeah,
But you fall so far.
Yeah. But I think the thing is, and I think even now, you have like even like then you have to, if you're going to make it, you have to have the mentality that you're about to make the best thing
I
that
know.
ever existed. Otherwise, you'll never get through it. Like, you don't, little do you know, it's going to be pretty mediocre, if not worse. But like, and I still feel it now, like making stuff now, I'm like, what if this is just as shit as everything else I've ever made? Because you have the same feeling every time that you're about to make the most amazing thing. And then I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. So I find it really hard.
It's the weirdest thing because you have to kind of be your own biggest fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're just like, I don't want to be a wanker.
Well, I mean, that definitely not as well. But you kind of have to be your own biggest critic as well, because otherwise you just kind of stay at the same level forever.
Definitely.
Being like, well, you can either be one of those absolute sociopaths, which is like, yeah, my student short film was the best thing ever and I'll never change and I'll keep making these. Or you can be like,
I've met that person.
we've all met that person, trust me. Do we want to name names? No.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you also kind of like, you have to watch your old stuff and be like, all right, I can see myself improving with each different performance or each different short or even anything else. And yeah, like it's an arduous task, but you have to watch, or you have to track your progression, I think, and be critical in yourself, but not to a detriment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch that early stuff and you're like, man, I was rife with dialogue.
Yeah.
I've got to cut out like, 75% of that dialogue that I wrote.
And it would have been exactly
the same thing.
10 minutes shorter as well, which would have been perfect.
Yeah. And it's just funny that, we work on a visual medium, but we kind of like, we try to like cram all this dialogue.
Trying to exposit as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are just being like, oh yeah, I'll just be like the new Quentin Tarantino. You're like, oh, will you?
Yeah.
That's always everyone's justification for like too much dialogue.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Quentin Tarantino did it. I'm like, but you're not Quentin Tarantino, actually.
Funny
Sorry.
that, isn't it? Yeah. You've taken that to the polar opposite as well with Ghost. No dialogue.
No dialogue.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, anyone listening, do a short film without dialogue.
It was like,
Much easier.
it seemed like I'd only directed music videos before, so it seemed like a natural progression. So then my next step is going to be dialogue.
Oh, okay. So it's music
next-
videos, no dialogue.
And now I'll have
too
film
much
with dialogue. And then I'll do too much dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll be the next Quentin
And then I'll
Tarantino.
be-
You do some Kevin Smith film where it's just people just talking the whole time. Yeah.
That can be real hit or miss as well. And like, I love certain Kevin Smith films, but then other ones you're like, wow, this was a swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kevin Smith, if you are listening, you are great, and I'm more than happy to have you on the podcast anytime. So I love that weird one that you had, Yoga Hosers or whatever it was called.
That's right. He mentioned, he did a video recently on trauma.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
it made me feel terrible about making fun of him now, but yeah, very important.
And he actually references yoga houses in that.
Does he?
He's like, maybe some of this explains yoga houses.
Oh.
So, bit of good, self-deprecation there.
Self-awareness as well.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, enough about apparently me making fun of a man with deep-seated mental
No,
problems.
every filmmaker does come on.
Yeah.
You're not special, Kevin.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, everybody has trauma. That's why we're all in this profession.
We like it. Gluttons for punishment.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, onto a slightly lighter subject now. Can I ask, Pernell, you're our first production designer. What is that? So I know there's
Because people need to know.
yeah, there's a lot of people that listen casually and that are like, not in the business. So every time we have someone that's like an assistant director or anything else on, it's just like a little bit of clarity because everyone's like, why are there so many people that work on film sets? You need like 4 people, right? Someone like presses like record and then like the person that just like edits in iMovie, right?
Yeah, so I guess the best way, the quickest and easiest way to explain a production designer is everything that's on screen that isn't the actor is pretty much production design.
Yeah.
So we create everything that's in front of the camera. So it's the sets and it's the the props and everything. Obviously, there's a costume department that does the costumes, but everything that isn't touching an actor is generally the production design.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's so much.
So we create the world
Yeah.
essentially, and we create the feelings and the emotions and yeah.
And the brands aren't brands within the production as well.
Yeah, we make
Yeah.
sure that there's no real branding in there unless we're allowed to. And that's the whole thing. Like, don't get me started on clearance. No, you cannot use your Billabong shirt in this show.
Oh, what? Billabong don't want to be affiliated or
Yeah.
sponsor the show?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
So yeah, it's
Fuck you, Billabong. No, I'm joking.
If you want to sponsor this podcast, I will take that. But yeah.
And we are just as important as the DOP, just so you know.
Now, I never insinuated that. I want that for the record. I am
No,
fully
that
on
wasn't
board
you.
with
That was just a broad statement because a lot of people don't seem to realize. People seem to think it's director DP, but actually the production designer comes in at the same time, if not before, the cinematographer, and they should be working together as a united collaboration. It's the sort of the
absolutely.
three people.
The unholy trinity.
I call them the Holy Trinity because it's the key people that are bringing this vision to life. I think they're like the key creatives.
Especially
whole
as well
vision.
when you have to build like a world, which like most people will be like, yeah, it's fine, just film it in somebody's like regular house, and then you're like, oh no, you can't just like
Yeah,
have
even
that.
Look at these white walls.
even
I know,
creating
right?
a regular house involves a lot of work.
Yeah, and like period pieces, and like for a period piece, I don't just mean like the 1800s. I mean like something in the 70s.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing one. I'm actually doing a doco right now, which is 70s, and it's just I'm trying to find if anyone out there knows where I can find a 1975 photocopier that still works.
1975 photocopier.
That would be great.
All right,
Thank
call
you.
in any listeners. that
By
have
the
a
time you hear this,
1975
it will be too late.
Oh. All right. Well, if you're listening from the future,
Yeah.
but in the, I'm going to edit that part. I've confused myself there.
Up next, we'll have Secret Sound.
Yeah. So yeah, reach out, Pernell. We'll give out her Instagram at the end. So if anyone has anything from the 70s, shoot her a message or not, because it's going to be way too late now. But fair enough. But you've done a few things from the 70s as well, right?
I mean, I worked on the newsreader, which
Yeah.
was the 80s,
The 80s
which is
was
really
all right.
fun.
Yeah.
But
that
like you
sounded
and
great.
like you know, realistically, when you're doing production design, when you don't, if something's set in the 80s, not every single thing that is in their house is
Yeah.
from the 80s, which is a big mistake that rookies make.
Oh.
So you've got to have things from it's got to tell a story of like there's things from the 70s and stuff
Yeah.
from the past. But yeah, like you can tell a rookie error is that everything is just brand new in the 80s.
1982.
Yeah.
1982.
Yeah.
Nothing before that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the fuck, I didn't even think about that. There you go.
What was
Anyway,
the Shuntram? Was
That was
80s?
70s,
That was 80s.
That was 80s,
that 80s?
early 80s. Yeah.
Fuck, I've not done
So
my
I've spent a
research
lot of
properly,
time in the
damn it.
80s, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
80s Australia.
Yeah. So like mullets and big shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that 80s Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of good audio stuff. A lot of record players.
Oh, right.
What else? What else? I don't know. And it was just great furniture.
yeah, it's really
My whole house is all 80s stuff because I just steal it from the show.
I was going to say, are you allowed to keep any of that stuff?
You know, sometimes it just makes its way.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to edit this part out then, but yeah.
No, it's cool.
Shantaram, if you're looking for any of your furniture, I can give out their address afterwards. A small field will be involved on my behalf, but yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't like all the art department put dibs on
Yeah.
different things?
Oh yeah.
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 You don't have to answer this. Do you ever buy anything you're like, I really want this? But
I'm not ashamed to say yes. Like
Okay,
that I
good.
like, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the art department does. Like, this is going to look great in my living room.
oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
If I could do that.
If it's great, it's great though. Like, if it's
Yeah.
great, it's going to work for the show. Like, great, but you've just got to make sure that it knows where it's going. at the
Yeah,
end
no,
of the job.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I never get to keep anything fun. Like the occasional costume, I'll either be gifted or take. Unless anyone in costuming is listening, which I definitely don't do that. Mostly socks is what I'll steal from productions.
Yeah.
'cause-
They don't want your
Socks are
socks
handy.
back.
That's
Exactly,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like and then like little not props but keepsakes, not production design.
I'm glaring.
Oh fuck. No. Like, little things like, I got. I'm
I took a stapler home.
my wall. The first bullet I ever fired in the TV show is up there, so I took that because I'm like, they're not going to miss that.
No, absolutely. And I'm always trying to give things away.
Yeah.
If it's going to go somewhere else, I'm just like, do you want this? Do you want this? Here, take this. What about this?
Yeah, I
Do you want
took,
this garden gnome? It's yours.
I took someone's insulin home once from set. It was-
You didn't have a good day with it.
they won't need this.
No, you're like, oh, you haven't really lived up to the expectation. So we don't want you to come and set tomorrow. So I'm just going to take this home. But you ever had to design anything real weird as well?
Ooh, I mean, weird. I mean, often you have to, like, there's definitely lots of times where you're just like, I can't believe this is what my job is today.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of props. There's like reoccurring props that you just are like, yeah, I'm going to do this again. And it's like things like I've had to make semen in a condom. I've had to do that more than once, in fact.
Wow.
And then obviously like vomit is like very regular.
What's the good recipe?
Well, on one particular show, it was particularly stupid. So we put like, I can't remember what it was, but it was something with oatmeal in it.
Ooh.
And it was like chunky.
Chunky.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Person needs to go to a doctor.
Yeah, that was one of them. But yeah, I don't know. There's like stuff all the time. You're like, this is crazy. Like,
That's,
I can't believe that I get paid to do this.
That's why I was asking for the slight explanation of what you do at the start as well, because people don't think about that as well. So like anytime you see a condom full of semen on a television show or a movie, you're like, wow, somebody's had to sit there and squeeze the anti-dandruff shampoo into a condom.
Yeah.
Tie it off and throw it on the floor. But not throw it, like place it so it looks natural.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like, it has been placed as well. That's always the thing. But yeah.
Someone's had to make that dog poo that person just stepped in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the dog poo. Yep, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, hit
I
up
mean, we had
Pernell if you
one
want
recently, a
recipes for any
dead
of these.
fish that we had to get made up for one of our upcoming
Shorts?
shorts.
Yeah.
A real dead fish?
It would look like a real dead fish.
Yeah. There's people on set that were like kind of side-eyeing it, being like,
Yeah, no,
that
Risky, if you're listening. He thought he thought it was real because because it's kind of like it was like a comedy, and then I wanted it to have like a tongue sticking out at certain parts. So when you looked at it, it was just like, bleh. Like, and like there was this point that me and the makeup artist Emily were just like trying to pin this little tiny tongue into this dead fish, and Risky, the sound guy, was just watching us like, what the fuck are you doing? And then because he thought it was a real fish. And then like
wow.
yeah, and that one, like the job for Emily on that was to perpetually lube it up so that it looked wet the whole time.
Wow.
So she would just be
So Emily was the makeup artist?
Emily, was the makeup artist, and she's just like lubing it up, and she's just giggling like,
It's a fucking weird job sometimes, isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, was it better like glistening up a fish than I presume glistening up a person? Because that can be a little bit more awkward.
Yeah.
You turn up and set some days and you're like, wow, this
Yeah.
is what I chose to be instead of, I'm going to say an accountant. I'm not smart enough to be an accountant, but a temporary office
Neither.
worker. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
yeah, it is weird, isn't it? A lot of innuendo that can go on in the film set.
right.
It's
But we will get into the stories as well. I'll stop chatting so much. But as a director as well, Greg, do you find that you've ever had to direct anyone through some really odd stuff?
have I? I'm trying to think.
Odd stuff. I mean, there's that kind of torturous stuff quite a bit when you have to put people through some pain.
Yeah.
Is that on set or just
Just like,
in general?
in general.
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
That's
it
a hard one, actually.
definitely is, but it's just so like you get a bit
You kind of put the blinders on, don't you? You're like, oh, this is not weird. This is
Especially when
this is
everyone
just
else
the
is on
job I'm
board with
doing.
it.
Yeah.
it's like anyone observing you would be like, what are you doing? But then we're just like, yes, this is our job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any specific things right now because I'm just like, it's just
No,
you know?
it's definitely strange. Like, even just, I'll stop bringing up Ghosts, even though it is a very good film. Just having, like, a crew of people watching you shower.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Just a strange day in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Sorry
Deb.
about
We warmed you before that, didn't we?
Warned me or
Yeah.
warmed me?
Both. We warned you, and then when you got to set, we
very
warmed you
hot.
as well.
The shower was so hot actually. It's like, do you think you can handle it being a bit hotter? We need more steam.
So the not to give away any of the spoilers of Ghost, but there needed to be a really steamed glass at one part of the shot, and I think I stood in that shower for like 15 minutes whilst that was so hot, and I stepped out afterwards and I was like, wow, I might need to sit down. I was really lightheaded.
I mean, I wasn't even in it, but I came out of the bathroom because I was standing next to the camera operator, and it came out and I was wet from all the humidity. I was soaked.
So much. I was like worried about the camera, and then my worry moved on to me, and I'm like, I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
I just drank a load of water.
It's good
and
for you,
sat
right?
down
Isn't
afterwards.
it? It's like the sauna.
Oh yeah, it's
effect,
definitely good for you. But
Yeah.
it's very
Good for
bizarre.
the brain.
Very like, and then just like everyone just like, And nobody's really paying attention to Seb in the whole situation. They're just sort of like,
I can look after myself. I'm a
they're all like, oh, how's this look?
Seb's
How's
here?
that look? How's the frame? How's the light? And everyone's
Steph
just,
goes, just unconscious on the floor. As long as we get the shot, though, that's all that matters. No, I'm joking. That was
We'll
a very safe
resuscitate him
set
later.
as well. I want to say that
Okay.
as well. It was a very safe
okay,
set.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I can look after myself.
That was in the peak of COVID too.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, we had to wear masks in
early
there as well. Like, we're still having to wear
2022,
masks.
is that
Oh.
right?
You tell me. I can't even remember.
That was the
anymore, to be
beginning
honest.
of last
January
year.
2022,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was Omicron.
Oh, yeah,
that's
Omicron.
right.
Deep
Yeah.
in Omicron. And
Good old Omicron. I will just say, maybe if we watch the cable scraping up against the chair, we're getting a little bit of scratching.
me?
It might just be both of us. That's quite all right though. But yeah, right at the start of Omicron, and it's that classic thing of being like, oh, it's so good to. There's loads of people on that set that I'd worked with before as well, and happy to see. But you're like, sit outside 5 feet apart from you just in case.
Yeah.
Because everybody has something going on like afterwards, and obviously nobody wants to get COVID, but especially when you're having to cancel jobs and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. That was,
Yeah.
I mean,
That brings us to our first embarrassing one
oh, look at. I see. I definitely meant that in that case. Yep. We got.
because
You did have it.
yeah, because
Greg
on
did
the,
have-
So you did. That's right.
on the second day, I was feeling
You were
I was
stroppy.
stroppy.
Yeah, I didn't
but
like it.
But I thought, oh, maybe it's just I'm producing, and
Yeah.
I don't really like producing.
No, I don't blame you.
It gets me grumpy.
I would be out. I'm like anyone that hasn't had tried their hand at producing. Live a day in their shoes. See how stroppy you get, because far it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just stressed. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to worry about it.
I was worried about it.
And
You
then,
were being
and then,
stroppy.
and then the next day, I woke up and I was like, not feeling too good. So I went to the exhibition grounds. Was it? They used to they'd hand out all
that's
the
right,
rat
yeah.
tests. Like lined up for
An hour?
3 hours,
3 hours.
in the car
Fuck.
to get some rat tests. Got home, we both did a rat test, and mine just came up straight away, 2 stripes. Boom.
Yikes.
You had just sent out an email to everyone being like, "Thank you so much, guys, for being on the film." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. And then you had to send another one. And you're like,
And by the way,
yeah.
It was in a very quick time frame as well.
The guy that was handing out the burritos yesterday.
the guy handling your coffees,
Yeah.
he had
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops. Did anyone else get it? You don't have to answer that. as
No.
well.
Not that I know
No,
of.
no, that's good.
No.
That's because you practiced safe set etiquette. You were wearing a
Yeah.
mask the whole time.
So that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next day, we were supposed to fly to Queensland
That's right, of course.
because Perfection was
Yes.
playing at Capricorn.
It was starring you.
No, it's just, you know how it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
I've made my way around a few short films. A few good short films as well, I should say that as well.
Yeah.
Perfections. Well, online as well, so you can actually check that one out.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very good. Seb's very funny in it. Emma's very funny in it.
I don't know about that, but
You guys did some great improv.
Oh, give me an inch, I'll take a mile. But yeah, you were meant to go up and see the screening of that, huh? So
Yeah, they were paying like most of our like way to get there.
far out. So did you make it up, Pernell? No.
No.
No. So yeah, talked to Luke Graham, the festival director, over
Yeah.
the phone. And he was like, "Oh man, well I've got some good news and bad news." So the good news is you've won best film. But the bad news is you're not going to be here to accept it.
Oh, fuck. Well, thank you, Capricorn, anyway.
Yes. Thank you, Luke.
I suppose in hindsight, it's not really anything they could have done as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it was a bit of a bummer, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well. But you also said you thought you got that off the person that you got the location from as well.
Well, it's hard to say because kind of everyone had it at that
Yeah,
time.
that's true, huh?
So I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I won't throw anyone under the
Yes.
The only time I've ever had it as well was from a rap party for a TV show. So
Yeah.
I feel like, the film industry, just because there's so many people in such confined spaces, is rife for getting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, never got it from the TV show the entire time I was on it, just the rap party, which I think
Oh, yeah.
80% of the rap party got COVID
Oh,
that
yeah.
day as well. Yeah. because everybody was so sick and tired of everything. Just like everyone's breathing in each other's mouths and
Yeah.
hugging each other and very drunk.
Kind of the rap party thing to do, isn't it? Just breathe in each other's mouths and talk about the good times.
So anyone that hasn't been to a rap party before, that is what you're expected to do at rap parties, is go and breathe directly into other people's mouths.
Basically, it's pretty intimate.
Go around and snog everyone.
Yeah,
basically,
exactly,
isn't
right.
it? Yeah.
Well, that's where all the weird on-set romances kind of fall out the closet.
Oh God, it's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I smoke bombed the last rap party
Oh,
I
did
went
you?
to. I sort of was looking around and I was like, I just don't think anyone would notice if I left, and I just sort of backed out of the room. I just didn't look back.
Homer Simpson
Just
into a
Homer
hedge.
Simpson
Oh,
into a
hedge.
hedge.
Yeah, nice.
I was so tired.
I don't blame you as well, to be honest with you. I stuck around the last rap party I went to. I stuck around till the end, but that's only because it was on till midnight, and they had a free bar, but they closed the bar for an hour for speeches. So I was like,
Ugh.
I'm getting the most. I know, right?
Ew.
I'm getting the most out of this night. And then a free arcade as well.
Oh, I know which one that was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Was it La Brea?
It was actually,
Yeah, I saw they went to an arcade.
Yeah.
Cute.
It was. It was great fun. Might have
So you just
also
went to
been
like a
on that
time
hotel.
zone.
So it was I suppose it's fine to give out the name. Welcome to Thornbury.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Place in Melbourne where they completely hired out the entire arcade and gave us all free plays on Time Crisis and Mario Kart and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then everyone got COVID. But yeah, it's a trade-off, you know. I did miss out on some filming work after that because of it, but I got to play Time Crisis for free. So you take some, you give some. But yeah, no, COVID's never fun. And again, yeah, awkward. Making those phone calls and emails is particularly bad. I always feel like it's like... yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone's time, and we really appreciate it. And it was great, but you might have a disease now. Whoopsie. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I suppose it could be worse things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be. There could be. I don't know. Getting.
Rattling their brain now for worse things.
Yeah, no.
I was just trying to think of another embarrassing.
No, I would just say nothing is worse than that. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the less bad things.
God. All right. We'll stop hanging around on this then. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking another one was like, you know, when you first get on set, you're new to the industry, you get on set.
You're so naive.
There's a lot of lingo. There's a
Yeah.
lot of abbreviations.
Yep.
And you're just like, what the hell is
It's
that?
like they do it just to alienate new people.
Yeah.
I think it's like the cool club, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like, no, we've been working here for ages.
But they like to. It's like literally industry specific terminology that like it doesn't exist anywhere else. And then if you don't know it,
and you never
it's
get
like-
taught it.
no, you don't get
No.
taught it.
No. And you
Crazy.
not even at film school. You
No.
don't, because
Nothing.
And everything, all the names that like the gaffers and the grips have for all their little pieces of things, all extremely sexual. Like it's like there's a lot of them. There's like things that are called butt plugs and like
What?
various like.
Oh, that's sound.
What is the? Oh, sound is a butt plug.
that's the bottom of the transmitter that goes
Right.
into the mic.
Oh, okay, well,
Is
there's
that
plug.
a butt plug?
Butt
Oh my
plug,
like
God.
yeah.
various
Yeah.
terms for a lot of things.
Flickies,
It's all just
floppies,
floppies, yeah.
stiffies.
Don't,
That's what a grip gets when he sees a new makeup artist on set.
don't, please stop.
That is absolutely
I told you not
true.
to make that joke.
Sorry, grips, but they know it's true.
I don't think grips listen to this because they're
Too busy gripping.
Yeah, gripping is the fly way
many-
I was going to
too many-
say, but yeah,
Too busy ironing their gloves.
yeah, there you go. Drinking their 12th day
Now I know
coffee for the day.
some of my best friends are grips. Thank you very much.
They're wonderful, and we wouldn't have shows without them. But yeah,
But
some
yeah.
of them are the strangest human beings.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
grips are great though. They help you out. Like, they'll
yeah,
get
they've got-
you.
They've got the sushis.
They'll like they love a challenge. Like, you know, like you ask them like a weird thing to rig up, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not a problem." Yeah.
But it's like the most, especially if the weirder it is, the better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
rig that.
Yeah. Them and Steadicam operators.
They're sickos.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steadicam
Steadicams,
operators
eh?
love a challenge.
What is that? 5-minute Steadicam? Absolutely, let's do it. How many takes you want? 18? Let's do it. I did that to a Steadicam operator. I'm sorry, pony. But he was like,
It means I don't have to go to the gym
by the
tomorrow.
15th or whatever take, he was like, more.
Yeah, wow. I've had one Steadicam operator when I was like, I needed to run away from getting shot at and then get shot. Sorry, during a sequence, and the Steadicam operator had to keep up with me, and I was like, oh, like what pace do you want? He's like, I'll keep up with you, mate.
Yeah.
All right, wow, fair enough. And this poor guy that was pulling focus. So
Oh,
for
yeah.
anyone that doesn't know,
Yeah.
pulling focus is essentially the person sitting in like Video Village, or the place where all the monitors are, they've got this little dial that they're like furiously staring at the screen trying to keep focus with, so like I can't go out of focus on camera. And this poor focus puller was just staring as this Steadicam operator was sprinting as close as he could get to me, whilst I was like ducking and diving and dodging bullets and then getting shot. I felt so bad for him.
Even pulling focus is kind
Yeah.
of
Oh, that's like a master.
That's a nightmare.
Just like, and your eyes get sore.
just making like you can see the calculations surrounding their head as
Yeah.
they do it. You know, they're kind of
They're just staring at the
computing.
matrix. Yeah. And then if they ever miss anything because the focus was a bit soft, and then the actors are always like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, don't do this
It
again."
just goes soft for like 1 second. It's like, oh.
and then the focus puller's like, can we just do another take for me?
Yeah.
Can we do one for focus, please? For Sharp?
No.
The ultimate perfectionist.
Cried in that scene. I don't have another one in me.
Yeah.
That happened to one TV.
It's always
show for
like,
me, and
yeah,
I was-
can we
oh.
check sharps, please?
Yeah.
No, don't check sharps.
Yeah. Oh, I feel bad for them as well because that's a nightmare of a job.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Can we not just fucking move on? Like, what
Yeah.
does it matter if it goes out of focus for 1 second?"
It's a lot of pressure on one person.
It really is,
Especially in a moving Steadicam
Yeah. Right.
like scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So
like
I
the
feel for them.
Olympics of
Yeah. Right.
focus pulling.
And then there's so many moving parts, but sorry, I don't even know how we got onto this subject. Banging out grips. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Early on in
lingo.
their career.
Lingo,
Yes.
yeah, a bit of. But
Yeah, you
I
have a good
was.
story about that.
Yeah, that's okay. It was,
It's pretty stupid.
but this actually wasn't film. This was. I mean, there's a lot of crossover between theatre and AV and film, of course. So
Well, it's AV as well for anyone that doesn't know.
yeah, audio visual.
Audio visual.
Yep.
There we go.
So you know, audio, video,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
All that fun stuff.
So I was straight out of film school, working a bit of AV, camera operator. I think I was.
For theatre?
For some
Filming
of
like a
it's like an
corporate
event, it was
event or
like an
something.
event or
Used to
something.
film like
Yeah,
corporate-
Most exciting.
yeah,
stuff.
some AV company. I can't remember.
A lot of people have worked corporates on this podcast before, and very few of them are happy to say nice things about them.
Yeah, pretty easy money if you're a camera operator though.
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
It's pretty
I like
sweet.
being depressed.
Yeah.
Do them in between.
Yeah.
And I needed a power lead.
Right.
And I asked someone and they were like, yeah, get it from Alex. And I was like, okay. And being fresh out of film school, I had no idea that Alex was short for lighting and electrics. So I went around the place asking for Alex.
I mean, like, that's a fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you know
Mistake.
Alex?
Do you know
Excuse me.
Alex?
Do
I
you
need
know
to get
Alex?
a cable from Alex.
And then I got to the third person.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know anyone called Alex, but can I help you? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, power lead. And they're like, yeah, and just grabbed one for me. That were, yeah.
Your little knight in shining armor.
Thank you.
But like, it's really easy because you can feel it's an easy mistake to make
Yeah.
because you're so new to it. But you
so
feel
bad.
so embarrassed about it. Like you go home just thinking about it.
God, I'm so stupid.
Such
Yeah.
a stupid dickhead.
Oh, everyone's going to be laughing at me now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at least it wasn't one of those, like, you always hear about, and not so much in TV and film or anything like that, but people in, like, garages being like, yeah, can you just go and get the blinker fluid or the tartan paint or anything like that? So at least they never sent you around looking for a skyhook or something.
Oh, I heard it's like a thing that like lighting people do.
Oh, do they?
Like it's like when the new person comes in, they will specifically ask for something that doesn't exist. Knowing their own,
The
like,
old switchinator.
yeah, like can you get one of the like, and they'll make up a random name
Yeah.
and just laugh at like, like
Jesus Christ.
send this person on like a mission for nothing, which they don't even need to do. They just need to ask for like, what's the term for a peg?
Yeah.
A CB 300.
Oh.
What are they called again? They're
Yes,
just like
I know
it's
what
like
you're
a
talking
wooden
about.
peg.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they have a special lighting term for it. It's like a C300 or something.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
It's
but-
just like, just say it's a peg.
Yeah,
It's
no, but
literally
not
like a
cool.
household peg.
It is. That's the thing as well. It's literally nothing fancy. It's a clothes peg.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they'll
say
just
all
like
these
have like this
ridiculous
like
things.
numbers and codes for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always, there are a barrel of laughs, those ones.
But there's some good ones too. There's like, what's the one where you've got to go do a poo and it's like
10-2.
10-2.
10-2.
Yeah,
10-2.
10-1's going
And then
to
there's always the
toilet.
question of
Yeah.
what 10-3 is.
Yeah.
But what if 10-1 is peeing, 10-2 is pooping? What's 10-3?
Crying in the bathroom.
I'd say it'd be crying in the bathroom.
And I think that
Which I'm sure we've all done on a set, right?
I was going to say that's probably what happens
I tend-
most.
I tend to cry in the car. Yeah.
There's a lot of tears in the car on the way home from set. Or sometimes turning up to set the next morning after a particularly bad day and you're just trying to psych yourself up.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah, in the
"Alright,
car."
this is fine. It's 4 degrees and it's raining sideways and I have to lie in a puddle today, but it's fine. I want to do this. I want to do this.
I love my job. I love my job. I
Yeah,
love
I
my
do,
job. I
I
love my
do.
job. I have a lot of that.
I don't know what Alex was, so I'm going to cry in my car.
You're just going around at breakfast being like, is there Alex? You're checking the call sheet. Where is Alex?
I think I try so hard
Can somebody
not to.
find Alex?
Yeah.
I try very hard not to cry in public, so there is definitely like a lot of car cries. I think my last car cry was because somebody had broken my garden gnomes.
Oh, no. Who did this? Name and shame right now. I
It was
want to know
like-
who this
well,
was.
one of the people that did it, it was the Grips and Electrics.
Oh, because they just trample over everything.
They've got feet. They've got a lot of feet.
Got those big boots.
And
Yeah.
one of them, like the lighting team came up, they knew that they broke one of them and they like pulled me aside and they're like, look, Pernell, I think we broke the little octopus. And I was like, that's okay. I just needed you to tell me that. But what about the 6 others that got broken? And they were not admitted to. It was just like 18-hour days. That's what's going to kill me.
Did you have a burial for them?
No, I had to glue them back together because I borrowed them from the neighbor.
Oh my God.
So that was another reason. Is like because I ran out of money for the amount of gnomes I needed for this old lady's front yard.
How many
So I went
gnomes?
I saw the neighbor had heaps, and I was like, "Hello, can I borrow these?" And then when they got kicked, like it was a frog got its head kicked off, and like I was like,
Jesus.
"Oh my God, no!" like. They're borrowed and then I have to return them. And I didn't actually end up telling the neighbor that I'd broken like 8 of them. I just glued them back together and put
placed
them
them back in
straight
the
back
garden.
into the
Oh my God, did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
Is this still your current neighbor?
No, this is just
Okay,
some
good.
random neighbor. I don't think he'll be listening. But also, like, they'd been there for a really long time.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just some battle scars,
Like that is like
aren't they?
a big majority of my job is fucking shit up
Yep.
and then covering it up.
Oh, I do not envy you. If you ever, like, and this is anyone that's listening, do not rent your house to a film production.
Don't do it. We will fuck it up.
It is horrendous. It's literally cameras just taking chunks out the wall. Every
Yeah.
grips. I don't know how, even if it's like not raining
They've got
that
extra
day.
limbs
But
and
they
feet
have
and mud.
Muds everywhere, always covered in mud. Even if they've just walked down a garden path with no mud on it, and it's a dry day, they got big wet muddy boots, just traipsing that through. And then also, everyone will just destroy your toilet. Like,
Yeah.
sorry for it.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Breaking the seat off.
Yeah, I know.
Happened on
It always
multiple
happens.
I'm like, who are these people? Like, you go to a club and this doesn't happen. It's like,
I know, right? And there's people just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I cracked the porcelain. How it's like my radio fell in my back pocket and it's smashed. Can you fix that? And you're like, no. How do you think I can fix this? It's
It was
always-
a 10-3.
Yeah.
That's why I cracked your porcelain.
It's a 10-10. Everything happened at once, and always. And this, I'll say this as an actor myself. We have like fits of passion where we're like, I want to do this big thing on camera where I'll throw everything off a desk,
yes.
and you're like,
I love that.
we don't have any replacements for any of that, and all that stuff that just hit onto somebody's wall. We rented this house. Like, what do you think happens?
Yeah, that's just another trigger for me to run and cry in my car.
Yeah.
And like, you've got the art department watching the actor throw something on the ground, just
Yeah.
like gritting their teeth, just like horrified.
That thing's been in other shots. We need it for
Yeah,
continuity.
we need that back.
Yeah. Or it's like it is borrowed from someone else as well. Oh.
But we've actually rented a place based on like we thought
Smashability?
we thought
Oh,
it would
okay.
would look good for one of our short films.
Oh.
We
yeah.
just saw this green kitchen and we were just like,
Yeah, that's
we should rent this place.
Action and Hellbender.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, don't give your house to filmmakers.
No, never.
Never. But for some reason, allowed two short films to happen in that house. But
That's true, yeah.
People get excited though, I think. That's the problem. I did extras work for years and years, and I was recurring on, what was it called again? Dr. Blake. I did like 3 or 4 seasons of that. And we're in this one person's house once, and like they were shooting so much in there, and everyone, like the people who owned the house, were watching from afar, just so excited, like wow. And I was literally just seeing people gaffer taping over like painted walls and stuff like that, and I'm like, yikes, this is not going to be easily fixable.
Chopping down a tree in the
Like
front yard.
literally just like snapping limbs off the trees so they can put lights outside the windows. So it is daytime, but they need to make it look consistent daytime. So I'm just like, just anyone that's listening, don't do it. It's not worth it. Like, you can maybe see a cool celebrity in your house, or like watch it back and be like, that's our living room. Wow. But yeah.
Charlie Hunnam sitting on a couch.
Yeah, I know, right? And then Charlie Hunnam gets up and like punches your mirror. And he's like, yeah, that was a great take, Charlie.
Goes and uses your toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm so sorry, but we need to get a Portaloo now. This is just an example. We're not saying anything against Charlie, unless we have any stories against Charlie. Not that we want to say. Okay, good.
Oh,
So this is all
no.
hypothetical.
no, I wasn't there.
Oh dear, we do have stories about Charlie.
Nah, he's all right. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, but everything I've heard, he's a nice guy, and he doesn't break toilets. I just want to put that in the
Right.
record.
Not that we know of.
Not that we. No, oh god, don't stop with the libel. He's
He
gonna
might
come
listen
after
to
us.
Destiny's Child, but that's
He was on the Sons of Anarchy, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of...
So maybe he has smashed a few toilets in his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing that can be proven, and that's why I want to say that on record. Moving on from this anyway.
About Charlie Hunnam's toilet.
Met it.
What were we talking about?
10 threes, I think.
10 threes,
Okay,
yeah.
10 threes. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Charlie Hunnam did a 10-3.
Yeah. That's on record. Someone put that on his IMDb
Whatever that
page,
is.
please. Also, someone please explain what a 10-3 is as well. Charlie Hunnam, if you're listening, please call in and tell us what a 10-3 is.
Sponsor the show, Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, please, actually, I'd take that. Yeah, Charlie, if you are listening, please sponsor this. Or come on and sponsor the episode as well. You get nothing from it, but I'll get everything. But yes, anyway, swiftly moving on from that. So we've had plenty of mishaps with actually like filming on locations. Have you had anything where you've had to like fully remove like, either scenes or anything or anyone from any of the filming stages, I suppose, like either cutting them out, which is not because of them, but always an awkward conversation having to have with someone, or just being like, hi, can you stop smashing this wall? Any awkward like conversations, I suppose, you've had with people?
By people, do you mean actors?
Actors, it can be literally anyone on set, especially from the directing background as well. If you had to let anyone know that they've been cut out of anything. That's a good reaction, because usually if people are like, yeah, had to cut out a few people, it's always been really awkward.
Cut them from the production, you mean?
Yeah, or even just like in the editing room.
Like in the final cut.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be awful.
Yeah, it
Not
happens.
off the top of my head, no.
My first TV appearance, my
Yeah.
first bit part role.
So basically, what you're saying is you've been hurt and you want to know if we've done
Yeah, have you done that to other people? I want to
Is it
know.
something everybody does?
Yeah.
Are you judging us?
Oh, just from the other side of the
We
camera.
definitely haven't had to cut. I mean, there's probably definitely an extra or two that hasn't made it into a film before. Sorry.
Have they been, and you don't have to answer this, star now extras as well? Which
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, they're the
Gold Coast.
Gold
Star
Coast.
Now
Like
extras.
because we're from we were in Brisbane before
Yeah.
this, and yeah, there's one down here. There's a scene down here, but there's
Yes,
a
there is.
certain scene up in Queensland as well of just the general extras.
Yeah,
Like
yep,
not
yep.
all, but
Some
and you
weird
get the
ones that-
same ones every single time.
Okay.
But then you'll also get like a goodie.
Yeah,
Like that. You're
I
like,
know.
wow, where did you come from, and how did you?
Yeah, there's a weird sector in Queensland of like kind of semi-retired people
yes.
who want to act now.
Yeah.
So they go and star now, and they'll just come on any production
Yeah, yeah.
and they'll just do anything.
For no money as well. Like,
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And they just want to hang out.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so happy to
and
be
they like
there
to
as
tell their
well.
war stories about when they were
yeah.
working on this other show.
Yeah.
Oh, they always tell you, like, I was on a show with Charlie Hunnam.
They'll name-
Yeah. And then like, oh, he was great. And I was like, did you talk to him? Like, yeah, he said hi. You're like, oh, cool. I love hearing. And like, I've been an extra. I did extras work for years when I first started getting back into it in Australia. So I feel like I can talk down on extras. No, I'm not talking down on them. But like, far out, you get some odd.
Yeah,
odd
there's a certain.
chickens.
I mean, this wasn't so. Oh, I used to be an assistant director before I would turn into a director / production designer or whatever I am now. And I used to manage the extras a bit, and we have had to kick extras off set that have been.
Oh my god! Can you
like
tell
there was a
us any of
guy?
those stories?
There was one who was like in Wales, I think, on a show. Was it in Wales?
Wales, as in the
As
country,
in
not
Wales
as in New South Wales.
UK.
Oh, cool! Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, on a show there, and there was this guy. Like, oh, there's two guys on the same show. One was just a creepy old man, not realizing he's being really creepy, and then there was another man that was just like getting all really violent and stuff.
Oh my god!
And just like, well, like just being like very like I don't know, and like
real aggro.
real aggro and just yelling at everyone and like
Was
being
that
like
part of his character?
no, he
Oh.
didn't have a character. He was an extra.
Oh,
But he was trying to make a character out
It
of
was
it.
just like a fair. It was like a medieval fair.
Oh,
So they're just stand in the background and be medieval.
Excuse me, what's my backstory?
yeah. I've actually come up with. I'm a retired knight, and I came back from the battlefield.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Ones
like,
that have got they really. You know, there's like game players as well.
Yeah.
It's like because like my job was also to help. Like I would often choose who I thought was the right person for the role, which is too much power for a young woman, to be honest. I was, 'cause, like they would just suck up to you like so much. Like I was never without a coffee, and they would just be like hanging around me, like
that's not a bad,
Didn't
deal.
someone bake you something once and you had to throw it away because it wasn't gluten free?
Oh yeah, one
But it was
time
really
I was like on an ad and like this, like it was like the second day, and maybe she was there was 500 extras on this job, like 500.
500
It was
real
an
people.
Optus ad, yeah.
Oh my
And it
God.
was like a big crowd thing, and like I don't even remember this woman, and like she came up to me the second day and was like, "I baked you. Here's a brownie that I." Made for you because
Holy
you were the
shit.
nicest. You're the nicest and most smiliest person here, and blah blah blah.
Smiley.
And or something. She was just like, because you're just so lovely yesterday. And I was like, cool. Thank you so much. But I'm like gluten and dairy free. So I was like, I can't risk eating this random cake that this woman gave me. And I tried to offer it, and people were like, where'd you get it? And like from an extra, and they're like, no, yuck.
This is definitely poison.
So I had to throw it in the bin. And then she came up to me later and was like, did you eat the brownie or whatever it was? And I was like, yeah, it was delicious. She was like, it was gluten and dairy free.
Oh no!
And I was like, it looked so delicious too.
Far out. That.
And then she saw it in the bin and she was leaving. She's just like, a single tear just like rolled down her face.
Yeah, you get some like, it's real suck ups.
Oh, do you? So if you're an extra and you're listening, stop sucking up so much.
Yeah.
ADs
Because
will
usually I would
respect you
just-
more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it paid off. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, this guy can have a speaking part.
Now, was that because they were a regular human being as well as a suck up? Like, were there any super weirdos that were suck ups that ever got
Yeah,
on
usually
camera?
no.
No? Okay.
Usually not, no.
There's always those extras that try and move, like depending on where the camera's
Yeah,
pointing.
yeah.
They try and move in the
They, like,
crowd.
jump into the
that's
frame,
Sneaky.
yeah.
And you're like, hey, get back there.
No, back.
You, continuity.
Yeah.
I did see on no, it wasn't the same show, but I did see an extra get fired for making a suggestion to the director.
That
It was like, what if we?
Gotta love that. So,
What if you go home? Bye.
And it was like so like everyone was like, that guy out now.
Jesus, that is awkward. Oh, I feel bad for them as well. Like, that doesn't seem like... Not that most of them come from a malicious space.
No, it's all
But
like
it's just real misguided.
no, and generally,
Yeah.
like the good ones are the quiet ones that
Yep.
know that they're there literally to sit around and wait all day.
Oh, for sure.
Bring your iPad, bring some work to do, write your novel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the-
Write
that's-
your script.
To me, that's the smart extra.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that I respect.
Yep.
They'd be upset if I asked them to do a walk on because they'd be like, oh,
I
I'm
know,
just here to
right?
get paid to write my novel.
I always did that. I fell asleep once as an extra because I was like, just put me deep background.
Yeah,
I don't want to have
deep
to
background.
walk.
Just want
Like,
my-
all I want to be is a blur.
Yeah,
I fell asleep
that's
at a
fine.
typewriter once.
Yeah.
It's like, nobody noticed because I was that deep in the background. I was like, I don't want to do anything either exhausting. You can have the
Yeah.
other
Oh,
people
definitely.
run around the place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll just walk. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know that this isn't my big break.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
just
not-
here to
yeah.
learn and make a little bit of money.
I was nearly on Pirates as an extra.
Oh, really?
You got
Yeah.
offered it, didn't you?
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
pirate?
So because I mean, I've got no aspirations to be an actor at all.
Yeah, smart.
But yeah, I want to do the torturing.
yeah, no, that's fair. The better side to be on, obviously.
And but they did a call out for, this is in Queensland, they did a call out for pirates extras.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to be a pirate. That'd be great. So like started growing a big beard, got a big bushy beard going,
awesome.
and went in, got all their measurements done. Well, went in, they had a look, and they were like, yeah, cool, come back, and did measurements and all that kind of stuff. And they were like, yeah, so we want you to be an extra. We want you to be an English soldier.
Oh, the boring one.
And I was like, I don't want
Colonist.
to be a colonist.
Yeah. So you have to wear a super uncomfortable, presumably incredibly warm uniform all the time.
Yeah.
Be like, you don't get to like run around a ship or anything.
No. So I just said no.
Yes. Yeah.
No. I wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah.
Pirate or nothing. Paul, pirate or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You shave your beard off in there and you're like, no, I'm going home. Have my beard. Oh, here we go. Here's the podcast dog trying to break into the room again.
Like headbutt at the door.
Oh, yeah, that door's a little bit sticky and she will consistently try and break it down, but this might be the 4th week in a row she's tried to break it.
Reminded me of Dead Calm. You know, the dog in that film would try to open the door.
No,
No,
me neither.
Nicole Kidman, Sam Neill. No.
No, oh God.
Watch it, it's really good.
We're not okay. Let's shout out Dead Cam if you want to sponsor this podcast as well. Write in.
Sam Neill.
Yeah, Sam Neill if you want to come on sponsor the podcast as well.
Nikki Kidman.
You can do a
Nikki?
twofer with Charlie Hunnam. But yeah, but yeah, I had a few friends that worked in Pirates, and it sounded like a great time. So I'm sorry you missed out on that.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed I didn't because, yeah, there were friends that worked on it and they said they just did huge overtime and they were just getting paid penalty rates.
Oh,
They were just like
they
taking
dream.
home loads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the overtime.
and everybody's like, I don't know about you two, but every time they're like, we may go into overtime, and everyone's like, oh, I just want to go home, and I'm like, oh, I'll
Yes.
get paid $100 an hour. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that's perfect.
like if they're like, I'm not really a on-set person in my
Yeah.
role most of the time, so I don't. It's more of a novelty to me. So if I do an ad
Yeah.
and I do a 15-hour day on an ad, I'm stoked because that's my month of rent in
Yeah,
one day.
I know, right?
Like that's my month.
Crazy,
Not even
isn't
my
it?
month of rent. That's my month of being alive. like for one day of work.
That's yeah. I'm also the same. I'm not on set a lot, but that's because I don't get hired a lot. My role is exclusively on set, but actors at my level work like 1 or 2 days on a show. So yeah, every time they're like, we might go over to overtime, especially on TV commercials, I'm like, yeah, I'll
Yes,
be here
please.
for 78 hours
Yeah.
straight. I don't need a break. Like
We
this
don't
is
need to
fine.
stop. Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
keep me. I'll do anything.
As long as I'm near the crafty table and
Yeah,
you know,
it's when
I've
they
got
don't
some
bring
water
enough
and
for
coffee.
crafty, and it starts to really dwindle, and there's just some of the really crap stuff that's left, like the old apples, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, maybe.
Or
I
like
do
the
wanna go
already
home.
cut like carrot sticks that they do sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they start to dry out as well.
Yeah, they're dry now.
Yeah.
flies in the hummus.
Yeah.
And they're like, all
Yeah.
right, guys, we're doing overtime. We're getting pizza, and I'm like, I need to run around. I don't want to be really full of pizza and greasy
Yeah.
and like tired and feeling awful. Yeah, but
Gassy.
yeah, I know, right?
Gassy.
That's fine. That's for
Right,
Sam
right,
to
after,
worry
right after
about.
lunch, yeah.
Yeah,
When the soundie's just like listening to everyone.
I feel so bad for every sound. Like just the number of weird noises and like
They can hear that, right? They can hear
Oh.
the.
Well, they
Yeah.
could, yeah.
And then people taking their
'Cause it's-
radios to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
people
another
doing the inward farts. Because you know, like after lunch, everyone's kind of holding them in, but it's already like in the outward chamber, so it's got to go somewhere, so it goes inward.
Yeah.
So it's just like
especially whenever it's quiet and like rolling, and then you just hear. Nobody heard that, right?
that's not in the script.
Yeah. Come on, guys, let's stick to the script, and we can do one for fun. All right. But yeah, no, I always feel bad for soundies because they can hear everything. Having
Yeah.
a mic taped to my chest all the time, I'm like, and they're
Yeah.
like, and they just take off their, their headphones. But they also get to hear some of the best gossip as well.
I know.
Yeah. Past guest Jackson Tozer was saying how somebody got fired off the set once for bad mouthing the director whilst mic'd. So
Was it an actor? Oh, it was an actor.
an actor. Yeah. So any up and coming actors or established actors, mute your mics if you're gonna like. Don't talk bad about the production you're working on for a start.
Do that in the car when you're crying.
Yeah.
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 Do that when you're doing a
That
10-3.
is what the car is for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You call and
But you
vent.
make sure your radio is off and you're not holding the button down either. that can
button
happen.
by accident. Yeah. Make sure all forms of communication, unless you're talking to your friend on the phone, but make sure that they're not on that set. Or if they are, like they don't have any form of communication on as well, that's when you can vent. But yeah, usually wait until you get off set for that, I would say.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Otherwise, it has to be judged by arm wrestle.
Yeah, exactly.
The director and the actor have to have an arm wrestle.
It's always awkward when you get those stunties turned directors as well. The strong You want some really weak directors, like a Woody Allen. Yeah. Then you can talk bad as much as you want. Yeah. But I think we're coming towards the end of this after we've spoken about arm wrestling Woody Allen. Do we have any stories to finish on? Did we come with any more prepared?
I had one more.
Yeah.
This was the first ever paid job I did.
Oh.
And I had to do vox pops for a premiere of a film. So obviously, if people don't know what vox pops are,
Yeah.
you after the movie, people come out of the cinema and you run around with a camera and you get in their face and you're like, "What'd you think of the film?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?"
On the spot with the brightest light shining in their face.
Yeah.
And they're like, I loved it. It was the best film I've ever seen after they've gone to see Fast and the Furious 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, it was some small independent
Aw.
Brisbane film.
All the extras we were just talking about in the show now.
Oh, they were the ones that were all there opening
Oh, no
nights.
doubt. It's a scene.
Sort of was just extras.
Yeah.
They were paid to be there. They weren't even paid. They just came.
Yeah.
They paid to be there.
Yeah.
Themselves
there. Yeah.
So it like obviously I had to jump out before it was finished and get my camera and stuff like that. And I was so keen and enthusiastic. This was my first job.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
The first person who like came out of the door, I just ran up to them with the camera and just like, "What'd you think of the film?" And then she just looked at me and she's like, well, I liked it obviously because I was in it."
Oh.
And it was the lead actor.
Oh.
And then I just panned across and like there was a poster right there with her face on it. Like
Did you actually get that on camera as well?
no, I didn't. It was just me.
perfect.
It was just like,
Like, is this The Office?
but it was one of those moments, you know, when it's your
so
first job and you
excited
just
as
want the
well.
ground to like open up and swallow you.
Yeah.
You're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Did you end up submitting that one of that person? Like, I love the film.
They used it as the main promo. Like,
I'm so terrible with like faces of like important people, like even actors or
Yeah.
like who's the important people on the set. Like I definitely
Yeah, right.
once, like quite recently, tried to order a coffee from the DP of the newsreader.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a real power play right there.
yeah.
hey, little boy.
I'll have a long black, please.
Wow.
Because I don't know, I think he made a joke, but the point is that I didn't know who he was.
Yep.
And obviously, like, because I just rock in and out of set, like, very
Oh, yeah,
rarely.
you're not there
I, like,
every
come
single
in and I
day,
put
yeah.
a chair in and I'm like, it's done. And then
Nobody
I run
touch
away.
this fucking chair.
None of you can
Yeah.
or I'll fucking kill you. Okay, goodbye.
Where's my long
And
black
then
as well?
also, you make me look
The person behind the camera.
yeah. I don't know. I think he was like, anyway, I do that sort of stuff all the time.
That's
So,
fair enough. Like it's hard to tell who people are sometimes.
name tags, please.
Yeah, I know, right? Or just mean like a little badge saying who, like what your job role is. Because sometimes you get stuck talking to someone, you're like, are you a crazy
yeah.
extra, or are you like
Yeah.
an assistant director?
It's good when they have the name tags on
Yeah.
the radios.
Yes.
Yes. And you just sort of
Feel a
like
little
see
cheeky.
somebody's eyes like move down to your radio, being
Yeah.
like, Pernell, that's you.
Yeah.
Hello. Great
Oh.
to see you.
And then they're like, Pernell, I saw you on the call sheet. Yes. Yeah.
Like, or like you like talk to somebody and you're like having a full conversation with them and you have no idea who they are, and then you're like on the call sheet like, shit, who was
Yeah.
who the fuck was that?
I know. Or they're like, oh, so good to see you again. And you're like, great seeing you.
And then you have to look up, and then you have to
Right,
like
I know they were in makeup. I'm gonna go search that.
and then you have to look them up on the call sheet and
Yeah.
then be like, and then you have to look up their email in your email thing to figure out what other production
I
they're on.
know,
so
right?
that you know what they're talking about when they're talking about knowing you from
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
How about that job? And you're like, yeah, that job.
Yeah, you just say, oh, that was fucked, wasn't it? And they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, always.
It's usually-
It always was fucked.
That
Yeah.
happened to me with Charlie Hunnam. We came up and he's like, "Can I have some sanitizer?" And I was like, Who was this guy?
Yeah.
No, get out of here.
Get out of here, PA.
one of my good friends was a stunt performer on Thor, the latest Thor, and he went up. He thought he was reaching past Christian Bale's stunt double to get some food, but it was actually Christian Bale, and Christian Bale's handler came up and was like, "Oh, get away from him!" Like, shoo, you're not allowed to go around Christian Bale to get food from him.
Yeah, you'll get in his eye line.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, he hates that.
Like that.
Doesn't like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he was quite as serious on that as on Thor as he was on. Although that happened on Terminator as well. I feel like they were on similar levels, those films.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll edit that part out, actually. Whoops. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like that's a good way to wrap this up. Thank you so much for both of you coming on.
Thank you. This is our first podcast.
My first and my last podcast ever.
So you potted out.
Enjoyed it that much as well. Yeah. Thank you.
It was very embarrassing.
You potted our cherry.
Lads. Yeah, potted.
You potted our cherry.
We're definitely editing that part out. Joking.
Weird.
Great. We'll pause for laughter.
Did
That's my applause button.
Oh, is it actually?
Yeah, it is.
That's
the
hilarious.
drum one? The drum fill.
The drum fill. I can put one more drum fill in. There we go. And we are finishing this podcast.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
No, it's
That's
Yeah,
quite
thank you. This
My
is
absolute
great.
pleasure. Where can we find you both?
You can find me at www.gregkelly.net.
.net? Oh, you got a .net?
I got a .net, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Is it?
I don't know. .net, I feel like nobody has a .net.
No, I did say that to you, Greg. I did think that was very boomer of you to get a .net.
Greg is 54.
I've also got the photo of me on my website is just me holding my camera like at
Under
a
your
low
chin.
angle.
And it's mostly just Minions memes as well. So if you want some Ripper Minions memes, go to gregkelly.net. But that has most of your work on there as well, and all of your
Has all
contact
the
info.
has all the work that I want you to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the stuff you don't want people to see? Can we find you on the socials?
It's on it's on a hard drive in a vault.
Okay. Well, yeah. Reach out to Greg. Maybe some. You can link his PayPal on this as well. You really want to see that?
Yeah, if you want to pay me.
Yeah. Or you can come along to one of his screening nights as well for all the terrible stuff.
Yeah.
And it's gregkelly.mp4 on Instagram.
Yeah, I post a bit of stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't hurt to go on the socials.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Pernell? Have you got a .net as well?
No, I'm a
No.
.com, and it's just my name, Pernell Marsden, at .com. And
.com.
my Instagram is also Pernell Marsden, because that's what happens when you have a name like Pernell. You can get what
I
you
am
want.
there with Seb Muirhead as well, and
Yeah.
nobody else has that name.
Yeah.
It is great.
We've just
And
got to
that-
figure out how to spell it.
Everyone had my name.
Greg Kelly,
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a couple.
IMDbing you before. There's quite a lot. Pernell Marsden, so you're the first result. Result.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
But I'll link all this in the show notes as well. We're off to go and see Ghost, which was directed by Pernell and written by Greg. Yes, good. I remembered. Yep. So, if you can come back in time, you can see it at Setting Sun Film Festival in Yarraville. Are there any more screenings of it coming up, or are we just going to have to keep an eye out on the old socials for anything else?
No
No.
more screenings.
We've got our new short that I directed in Pernell Production Design. It was
Oh,
written
exciting.
by our good friends Scott Marinan and Dan Beacom.
Yep.
It's called Just Alright, and it's screening at St. Kilda Film Festival.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'll pop that in the old show notes because that'll definitely be out by the time that this episode comes out. No, that won't be out by the time this episode. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Jesus, I've lost my mind. And we'll finish this up with saying that you can find Won't Be Forgetting That pod across most of the socials as well. If you are interested in supporting the show, you can jump onto the show notes right down the bottom. There's a couple little links there, which generally do help the podcast run. I can understand if you don't have any money to spare, but if you can, I really do appreciate it. What is free, though, is rating, reviewing, and subscribing to this podcast, and following me on Instagram and YouTube at Seb Muirhead, Muirhead. But thank you both once again for coming on and sharing all those embarrassing stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.